Okay, hello everybody, welcome to TìandTarot, or welcome back to TìandTarot if you've been here before. So today's reading is going to be about what's next in love for you, especially if you are single. So this is a singles reading. And we've got 3 piles for you to choose from today. We have pile 1, 2 and 3. And there will still be zodiac signs in the timestamps below, and you can still of course pick based on the numbers of the pile or the numbers in the timestamp, and you can pick based on the crystal too, but I really want you to try and tune in to the energy of each pile and feel which one you're drawn to, because I think that will get you, the best results and connect you with the pile that you're meant to get. So I'm going to get into the crystals with you now, but just take a minute to feel which one you're drawn to. So for pile 1 we have some Labradorite, for pile 2 we have some grey lace agate, and for pile 3 we have some Smokey quartz. Once you have picked your pile, there will be a timestamp in the description box below for you to find your reading more easily, and I will meet you there. Bye! Okay, hello my pile 1s, welcome to your reading. So you chose the Labradorite, which we'll place over here. And let's get into your first 2 cards. So we have the King of Autumn in reverse, and we also have the 4 of Summer upright. Okay, so there's definitely stability in love for you next, and there's definitely already a person established. So this is either somebody you already know, or it's that the universe has already picked this person out for you and they're on their way. This is a very secure, stable relationship. It might be a long-term thing, very committed, and this person is really in tune with who they are as a person. They're very intelligent, they know their mind and they know their thoughts and how they feel. They're not really somebody who would kind of lose their cool. Everything they do is on purpose and calculated. They are also somebody who, they're not prone to kind of getting periods of like sadness or anxiety or that kind of stress or anything. They're just not used to that, even if it used to happen to them in the past. They're so experienced that it just won't happen really anymore for them. So we also have the Brawler here with lack of empathy and confrontation, and we also have the Walker with the unknown and a journey. So I feel like this ties into exactly what I was saying about this person knows exactly what they're going to do when they do it. They're very calculated, and for that reason they could come across cold, because rather than having their emotional sort of outbursts or emotional kind of reactions in person, like in real life or like to your face, they take time to reflect on how they're feeling, what they're thinking. So they have their little wobble or worries or concerns to themselves. And then when they interact with you, they've already thought about everything they wanted to say, everything they're feeling and thinking. And so for that reason, their reactions seem very tame, and it almost convinces you that they're not really into you. So for example, it's like if they were jealous of something, rather than crash out and get a little bit sassy and maybe moody and maybe not talk to you, or pretend they don't care but clearly they do, this person instead would reflect on that and be like, okay, realistically, this is my problem, these are my feelings, this isn't on you. So then when they next interact with you, they're like, yeah, I saw that interaction you had with this person, it's fine, it doesn't bother me, because it's not like an inappropriate reaction, it's just a normal reaction that stirred their jealousy. And to you that almost comes across as, okay, this person isn't interested in me, because why are they not reacting? But it's just because they're very mature. So it almost comes across like they don't have feelings, which is very much not the case. It's not that they won't confront somebody, they will, but they confront a situation when it's necessary, and also when they have all the facts, and also once they've done all of their own reflection on the situation. Because they're an internal person before they're an external person. That's the way they work. So they're not going to kind of go in guns blazing. You know, they're not gonna, if you're talking to like a random stranger and they're a little bit jealous, it's not like they're gonna go up to them and then, I don't know, attack them or whatever because they're jealous. They're just not that kind of person. Instead, they would evaluate the situation and go over and be like, introduce themselves, find out that this is your colleague and that you guys are actually talking about boring work stuff, and then resolve their own sort of internal jealousies themselves, without projecting anything onto you. But I think this is someone that you struggle to find out information about. They're very elusive. On the one hand, they're so upfront with what they're thinking, what their intentions are, what they want to do, like where they want the relationship to go, how they feel about you, that it almost feels like you know nothing, because I think you're not used to trusting someone's word at face value, and so you're like, okay, no, but really. So it's almost like you're searching to find them, but they're not trying to hide, like they're right in your face and they're showing you who they are. I definitely think that this is a long-term person, so long as you can get on board with this type of personality, because there could be a bit of stagnation in the journey if you're afraid of this stability. Okay. We also have love here in reverse. Let me pop the card here. And we have integrity in reverse. And we have insecurity in reverse. Yes, okay. I think this is a really stable person. They're very secure. They're not someone who gets easily triggered by things, but I think this has a chain reaction because it piques your insecurity. So I think this person is very open and honest about what they're feeling and thinking, but they also, as I said, go internal to work on things. They go internal to make sure that when they react, they're reacting from the best, most positive place. They're acting from a place of integrity. But this internal state or way of handling things means you don't get to see those kind of raw emotions that they feel as they feel them. You don't ever see their id or their, impulsive side. You never see it. And for that reason, it almost causes you to doubt in their like of you. And that causes an imbalance in who likes who's more invested in who, I would say, because I feel you both like each other or will like each other eventually when you meet this person. But it's kind of like they are into you, they like you, they want to see where it goes, and because you're not seeing their kind of immature side that you're used to seeing from people, you almost don't reciprocate this feeling because it's almost putting you off because you can't work it out and you can't figure it out and figure out how to navigate around it, because you're used to kind of tiptoeing around partners and things. So I think there's a sense of maybe potential incompatibility if you can't get on board with their stable, integral type of personality. Also, in terms of dates, just based on the tarot cards we've got on the table, you could meet this person Jan 10th to February 8th next year, or you could meet them July 12th to July 21st. Also next year. So that was your reading, pile 1. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And if you felt drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Tuesday and Thursday for another reading on TìandTarot. Bye! Okay, hello my pile 2s, welcome to your reading. So you chose the grey lace agate, and these are your 2 cards. So we have digitals and we have the Knight of Spring. Oh, this is a quick relationship. So that could either mean it happens very fast, like things progress very quickly, but it could also mean that this is a relationship that's quite short-lived. There's a lot of balance to it. It's a really harmonious relationship. There's a lot of back and forth, give and take. You do this one week, I'll do it the next. Like, there's a lot of balance and equalness there. It's a very transformative relationship. I think it will improve your life for the better. I think as well there's a lot of like, I'm getting like trickstery energy, like pranks, lots of like immature, light-hearted, childish actions between you both, like light-hearted stuff, but it's just like little things here and there, messing with each other, teasing a little bit, and maybe your flirting style is to tease each other or taunt each other in some kind of way. But either way, I think this person is very interested in you, and it is very much a physical thing straight away. Like, they see you and they find you attractive, and so they want to go up to you, and I do think they initiate. So, we have the Sentinel with determination and certainty. We also have the Sleeper in reverse, cause and effect and clarity. You know what just popped into my head? I feel like you guys will be up all night, either, you know, A, get your head out the gutter. No, I'm joking. Keep it there, because that's exactly what I was talking about. But also, not just in terms of that, but also just in terms of talking. Like, I think you guys want to get to know each other as quick as possible and learn as much as possible about the other person, because you're very interested straight away. It's very passionate, very quickly, very intense. And for that reason, it's like you want to know everything about them. It's almost like where you get like a new fixation or a new like hobby or something. Like, you just want to learn everything about it as soon as possible. This is a very transformative relationship for the both of you. It's a lot of fun, but I feel a lot of like youthfulness, like not childishness, but you know, like young love, like where people say that, where they mean like it's almost like you're obsessed with this person and hooked straight away, and you just want to know more and more, and like they're exactly your cup of tea, and you just spend all time with each other. You're always holding hands, you're always sitting in each other's laps. Like, it's that kind of young love where it's like you cannot be separate, you cannot stop finishing each other's sentences, like you're always in each other's space, like that kind of thing. There's definitely, with the Sentinel, I definitely see that this person's very determined to go after you. They know with certainty, that word coming up as well, that you're the one for them. Like, they want to, sorry to use this word, super gross, but like conquer you basically. Like, they see you and they're like, yes, that's the one for me. And they're willing to defend and protect this relationship at all costs. They don't want anyone interfering. They don't want any competition. They want you and them. There's a lot of love, actually. I do think this relationship very much has the foundations to grow and blossom into something long-term and something beautiful. But it just depends on what this fast-paced energy represents. If it means things just move very quickly from the beginning, or if it means this is a short-lived kind of flame, you know, type of relationship. We'll see. Okay. So we have, what is that? Surrender in reverse. There's lots of like, not like, I don't know, there's very, like, you know, you've got the Knight, you've got Surrender, you've got Sentinel, there's lots of like kind of war-like language going on here, like this is a battlefield almost. We've got Joy in reverse. It's very weird. I don't know why that's coming through. Maybe there's a lot of high intensity, high emotions. We also have humiliation in reverse. Okay. So, what I'm kind of seeing is a lot of emotions going on. There's quite a lot. So I think with surrender in reverse, there might be resistance to this person, especially with their kind of determined go-getter energy. You almost feel secure in knowing that no matter how much you reject this person or push back, they'll always come back to you. And so you kind of know you can get away with kind of delaying and being like, yeah, I'm not that into you or whatever, because you're playing with them a little bit. Like, you want to see how much they're into you, how much they're willing to put up with before they can actually get to have you. You want to see how much effort they're willing to put in for you to win you almost. It's almost like you're positioning yourself in this like authority or like regal position, and they're willing to, you know, pledge to you. They're willing to, like, you know, put the work in to make you see them as someone who's worthy to be with you. That's kind of the energy I'm getting there. And there's loads of swords around this person as well. Yeah. It's so weird. It's like they try and try and try again because this is their sword. And they're trying and trying and trying because there's swords everywhere. Lots of butterflies, lots of transformation. You both improve each other for the better. That's something that's coming in as well. There's lots of snakes as well. So yeah, lots of transformation and healing with this relationship. With humiliation in reverse, it's like this person would never do any wrong by you, especially in terms of like, they don't want to embarrass you in terms of like people, you shouldn't be embarrassed by this. This is why I don't want to say this. But you know, like if someone gets cheated on, they feel very embarrassed. They feel like they've been taken for a fool because they've been going around singing your praises and then you've just cheated on them. So it doesn't feel great, and it's also like quite humiliating. And a lot of the times when people are affected by cheating, it's also largely to do with the humiliation aspect, even though it's not something the one cheated on should ever be humiliated about, because it's not a bad reflection on you, it's a bad reflection on them. That is just how it feels. And so I think this person would never do that. Like, they would never try to go out of their way to like make you look like a fool for picking them, for giving them a chance. And they try and prove that to you time and time again, that they wouldn't be this type of person to put you under this public ridicule or lens, or like put you in that kind of spotlight in any kind of way. They might even, something just popped into my head, they might even want the relationship to be quite private at first, because they kind of want you all to themselves, and maybe there would be a negative reaction either from their family or from the public for some reason if they would find out you were their partner. And maybe because, for example, let's say this person is very attractive and is wanted by many. If they're then like, oh, by the way, this is my partner, those people who want them are gonna be annoyed and might retaliate in some kind of way, or try to like do something. Or say if they've got like a toxic family dynamic and they don't want that person to be in a relationship, and then they get one, they might try and, you know, spread that toxicity towards you kind of thing. So it could also be a little bit of that. And then with joy in reverse, I'm a little bit confused, so let me pull a card. We've got attachment in reverse. Oh, okay. Maybe this kind of secrecy is stealing a bit of joy from the relationship for you, because it almost feels like this person isn't attached to you or isn't serious about you or committed to you in some kind of way. Like, they don't want the longevity, the like house, the family, the pets, you know, the babies, the good times, the bad times. They aren't, maybe they don't feel like they aren't committed to that. Maybe that's the impression you get, especially with their kind of like playful, immature kind of energy. It makes you almost question their commitment to you. So that's something to watch out for as well in this new relationship, because that is something that we're not really getting an answer to in this reading. Like, you know, we're unsure, is this commitment or not? Is this a quick, fast relationship, or is it just that you fall in love very quickly? Is it a committed relationship, which I would say it is with the Sentinel, or with the kind of keeping you a secret? Do they have no intentions of bringing it to light? So it kind of causes these doubts within you, which could be stealing a little bit of your joy from the relationship. But it's not that this relationship isn't fun or isn't like a good time. It just, you're unsure about where you stand. So I think there needs to be more of a focus on good communication. And maybe they're a little bit resistant to that, and they might require a little bit of encouragement to actually sit down and have those conversations, because this person is very much a free spirit moving through the air. So you kind of need to ground them a little bit and get that conversation from them. I don't think they would be one to initiate it. I think they're an initiator to get the relationship, but bear in mind, if you've kind of put up a lot of resistance to get into this relationship, potentially they're unsure of your intentions too. Like, they're unsure of how you're feeling about them, because they might not feel very attractive to you or like someone that you want. So this is also something to consider. Okay, on top of that, let's look at the dates. So what did you have? The Knight of Spring. These are some dates where you might meet. I'm just checking in my book. So we had the Knight of Spring. So you could meet November 13th or to December 12th. So any time between then. You also have the Empress there. So let's look for that. Yeah, this person finds you very beautiful, by the way. So let's see Empress. When components align. So it could be between that time period in that November, December, but it's also when components align, and that could mean when you're ready to surrender to the relationship, versus when you're like not that, you know, you want to kind of, it's not that you're not interested, because I think you are straight away, but it's more like, especially as a very beautiful person, you're used to kind of this attention, and you kind of need to weed out the ones who mean what they say from the ones that don't, and so you have built up like a defense mechanism there, which is very valid, very fair. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing for you, pile 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe, and if you felt drawn to any other piles, feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Tuesdays and Thursdays for another reading on TìandTarot. Bye! Okay, hello my pile 3s, welcome to your reading. So you chose this piece of quartz, which I'm going to place here, and let's get into your cards. Ooh, okay. Girl, this is somebody from the past. This is somebody from the past making a return. It might not necessarily be someone you've actually dated before, but it definitely is someone you know. Someone maybe that, you know, maybe you never explored it with, but there was something there and then life pulled you apart and now you're coming back together kind of thing. But it's definitely someone from your past and they're watching you. I think they're a social media lurker. I don't think they're very brave. I think they're quite insecure and a little bit internal, very like introverted. So I think, you know, they might not necessarily make their move. They might be someone who hopes you just pick up on the vibe just because they're looking at you, like as if that's going to do anything. And I think this person, this whole relationship, it's just so down to earth. Like, you enjoy the simple things, the little pleasures in life. Like, you enjoy, like, for example, I'm picturing them, like, just making you a cup of tea and bringing it through to you, like, randomly, like, all day. Like, this is someone who does little acts of service here and there, who thinks about you and shows that they're thinking about you through the little things they do. To show their gratitude and how thankful they are to have you in their life. I think you do the same. I think there's a lot of enjoyment here, like a lot of deep life satisfaction, contentment, comfort, peace, quiet. It's not dramatic, it's not loud. This is a really good connection right here. I think it would also be long term, because with the ghost it's like a whole lifetime, isn't it? So this could even be endgame for you. Oh, we have the Archer. Biding your time, planning ahead. Yeah, that's them. And we have the Priest, perseverance and faith. That is so funny. This is very much the energy I was picking up on. Like, I literally can envision this person in my head. They might have been harboring a crush on you for a very long time. Especially with the Priest, this is someone who devotes their entire life to their religion. You know, their entire life to God or whatever. So this person is devoting their entire life to you. This is your forever person. Whoever this person is that you next go into a relationship with, this is your person for sure. With perseverance and faith, it's very much giving to me that they are hoping to God you just look at them and pick up on the vibes, because they're not going to come up to you. Like, they're too insecure, it's just not the case. I think they're hoping the longer they kind of lurk and stick around, you'll notice, you'll pick up the vibes, and then you'll act, because they are very much intimidated by you. They are very scared to go up to you, and it is because, simply put, you mean a lot to them. It's scary to go after what you want when it's almost like there's so much to lose, and because they value you so much, there's a lot to lose. You know, so it's too scary for them to go up to you, so they're just trying to put it into the universe's hands. They're like, please, like, like every night they're like thinking about you, fantasizing about you, wondering what your life would look like together, and yet they're not acting because they are shit scared to, basically. Especially with binding your time, they're just fucking hoping that if they wait long enough, you'll come get them. With planning ahead, I think this is someone who thinks about you all the time. I think they think of your future together. They definitely, I mean, to some degree they know you, because this is someone from your past, so they could know you very well. But they also might not know much about you and could be projecting a little bit. But I'm sure once they get to know you, they'll still want to plan ahead. They'll still be thinking of the future. It will just look a little bit different to whatever they are kind of thinking now, because obviously, like, if they don't know you that well, they can't really, you know, picture the exact future you're gonna have if they're projecting, you know. So we have insecurity in reverse here as one of your first cards. We also have, what's this? Rejection in reverse. This person is very afraid. What's this? Oh, we have 2 cards here for you. I only wanted 1 more, but okay, we'll take it. So we have openness in reverse and we have connection in reverse. Okay, I think I'm seeing the vision. I think this person struggles to come up to you and make that you know, initiation, have a conversation with you, because they think they would look like an absolute weirdo to go up to someone who they barely have a connection with. Like, they don't have an in. It's not like you guys are friends and you talk all the time, or that you guys, you know, maybe you work together or whatever. No, they don't have like a connection like that. They just know you from the past, and that's all they've got to go off. You could even be like a friend of a friend of a friend, and they just don't have a way to speak to you without it coming across as really weird, because it's like, how do you know me? Like, where do you know me from? Where have you gotten this info from? And so for that reason, they literally just don't feel like they have an in or have like an opening to get to know you. So that's why there's a little bit of disconnection there. On top of that, they're very insecure and they're afraid of rejection. And they're insecure not because they doubt in who they are, or that they doubt that they're attractive, or doubt anything about them. It's more that they've put so much weight on who you are and how impressive you are and how much they want you, that it's pulled that insecurity forward. It's kind of like, you know, if like someone fancies you and you don't really fancy them, so you're very like confident and like flirty and courageous, and the second it's someone you like, you're like a mess. Like, it's like that. Like, it's not that they don't have riz, or that they're not like a suave person or someone who is like really amazing. It's not any of that. It's just that it almost feels like they're none of those things because of what they're thinking of when they think of you. And they're afraid of rejection because it would hurt them so bad. They feel like it would change them fundamentally. It would change something about who they are. It's almost like because they've thought about you a lot and they've put a lot of effort into thinking about you, and kind of, they've almost, in a sense, tied their worth a little bit to whether or not you're into them. And so if you were to say no, which is well within your right if you're not interested, but if that was the case, they would kind of almost lose a piece of who they are, because they've attached a piece of their self-worth to you. And for that reason, they're very closed off. They're very like, I don't even know if you'll even be able to notice them, but maybe you will with the Archer. Because it's kind of like that vision of like, okay, I've found my target, I'm focusing on it. So maybe you will. But I just think that they're very, at the minute, they're in their shell, and so movement in this connection seems very difficult. So, what did we have over here? We had the 9 of Spring, and then we had the Ghost. So I'm going to check when you guys might meet. Okay, so with the Hanged Man, we have patience, delays, and waiting. Yes, there's a lot of like back and forth of like, I'm going to do it, no I'm not, I'm going to do it, no I'm not. And that's creating delays and waiting. Then we have the 9 of Wands. So where are the Wands? Which is December 3rd to the 12th. So that could be this year, it could be next year. If this person is a dweller, could be even longer than that. But yeah, we are getting a December connection for you and this person. So that was your reading, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. And if you were drawn to any other piles, feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Tuesdays and Thursdays for another reading on TìandTarot.